Welcome to TS Lombard. This is going to be an extremely important year for China. We always seem to say that, but it is particularly true for 2017. The economy is slowing down, and managing that with all the attendant pressures is going to be a major challenge for the rulers of China. The Communist Party will hold a key congress at the end of this year, which will select the leadership going through into the next decade and confirm Xi Jinping as the most powerful Chinese leader that we've seen since Mao Zedong. But it's on the global scene that China will go through a particular change and metamorphosis this year as it seeks to set out a new global agenda, which will be primarily geopolitical, but will have very significant economic effects too. First of all, in the region, and then more widely across the world, as Beijing comes to terms with the Donald Trump era. Xi Jinping made it clear with his appearance at the Davos World Economic Forum during January that he was putting China forward as the champion of free trade and globalization. That was welcomed by the participants at Davos, but it has to be taken with quite a large dose of salts. China remains intent on controlling its own economy. Capital and outflows of currency are strictly limited. The state-owned enterprises remain powerful and protected, and in many, many other ways, including most recently restrictions on the internet introduced last week. China is in many ways still quite a closed economy, which allows foreign firms in, but they too, particularly the American companies recently, are reporting increasing pressure from the Chinese authorities. They feel that their activities are being restricted and are reducing their plans to step up investment in China. Meanwhile, China is pushing out in the region, in the East and South China Seas, and will continue to do so, and that is where the danger of a military clash with the Trump administration must be rising if the noises from Washington mean what they say about cutting off Chinese access to the reefs and islands. Meanwhile, outward investment is increasing from China. That will go on not just into the classic African and Asian destinations, but also increasingly into Latin America and into Europe in search of new technologies which China needs. China sees the Trump administration as opening many doors to it. The end of TPP means that it can promote an alternative scheme. The One Belt, One Road policy will be pushed out more slowly, but gradually through Asia and into Europe. The Asian Investment Bank is already stepping up its loans, so we can expect a much more present activist China on the global stage. And the big question is how Donald Trump will react to that, whether there is a grand bargain, as has been rumored in Washington, or whether actually we are facing the standoff of the two big superpowers, the hegemons in the world, with major consequences for the global order.